There is a headline out there that says the average male is 4,000% less effective in fights than they imagine. And even though this article is from The Onion, there is a certain degree of truth to this. I know because I was definitely one of those people. I feel like I'm generally very easygoing and non-confrontational. All my life, I was pretty sure that I'd be able to diffuse any potential fight before it happened. But if it did happen, I was also pretty sure that I'd be able to handle myself. I'm tall-ish, fairly athletic, and I go to the gym pretty consistently. And I thought that was all you needed. It wasn't uncommon for me to pass some dude on the street and think to myself, I could totally take that guy. One punch knockout, easy. Also, if you're a guy, don't tell me you haven't done that as well. I'm pretty sure everyone does that. I had a lot of confidence for someone with zero training and who had never been in a fight before. Anyway, a few years ago, I went to my first Muay Thai class and I was feeling pretty good hitting pads. But then at the end, we did a few rounds of sparring. And I learned very quickly that hitting pads is much different than hitting a target that moves and hits back. Oh, I guess landing a one-punch knockout wasn't as simple as I thought it would be. And then I took a hard shot to the body. And that's when I truly realized, oh my god, I was completely wrong this entire time. I don't know. Yeah. That was the day my confidence was completely wiped. The vast amount of naive, unrealistic certainty that I had in my ability to fight was reset to zero. And I mean, it was a good reality check, and I'm really glad it happened in a training situation rather than in real life. But as someone who wants to be able to protect himself and his loved ones if need be, which is the main reason I started training in the first place, it was a major wake-up call. Now, for the past few years, I've been training a few nights every week. I've hit a lot of pads and been in quite a few sparring rounds. And even with all that fight experience now under my belt, if someone asked me if I can actually fight, my honest answer would be no. And that's kind of strange to think about, right? I would have thought that after training Muay Thai for a few years, I'd be a lot more confident in myself and that I would definitely know how to fight. And I mean, like, I can fight, but I can't actually fight. I think this is best summed up by the fact that I like training, but I don't actually like fighting. Like, I enjoy sparring in a playful way. Sparring that's at like 50% speed and power. And if someone gets me with a sneaky shot that kind of hurts during that, that's all good. But if someone who I know is better than me actually starts to turn up and hit hard, I'm not like, okay, let's go. Instead, I'm more like, oh no, if I go back harder on you, you might come back even harder on me. And I actually don't even want to be going this hard. So I usually don't turn it up myself. I mainly just try to defend, counter lightly, and survive the round. And it's been pretty interesting coming to the realization that I don't like actually hurting people or getting hurt, which is kind of what fighting is all about. And that right there is why I don't think I can actually fight. I don't really have that fighter mentality or a mindset. And I mean, my goal from starting Muay Thai wasn't to become a fighter. It was just to be able to defend myself if need be. And I think understanding my own limitations has made me a lot more cautious in the real world. I've been whooped in training by people who are smaller than me, so I no longer think I can just take everyone who passes me on the street. Maybe they're trained in an area that I'm not, or maybe they have that killer instinct that I lack. I don't know what random people's capabilities are, and that alone makes me much less confident about taking them than I would have been before I started training, before I understood what fighting actually requires from you, physically and mentally. But while I've lost all of my old, naive confidence, from these years of training, I've also gained a newer, more realistic type of assuredness. I'd be very cautious going up against someone whose capabilities I don't know. I always feel that way sparring against someone new. But if I can see that they're not trained, which is something that you can tell right away, well then I'm immediately assured that I can likely handle myself against them. Certainly much more now than before I started training. And also, while I don't necessarily want to turn it up in sparring or fight just for the sake of fighting, I know things would be different if I was legitimately threatened. It's one thing backing down a bit in sparring, not wanting to get hurt more by your partner who you know can kick your ass. It's another facing someone in real life who actively wants to do you harm. I know I would approach that situation much differently, and in that moment, I'd be grateful for every minute of training I've ever had. And I would hope I learn that the fighter mentality and mindset actually does exist deep within me, and that I'm able to tap into it when it really matters. And this was almost tested recently. I was at the gym a few days ago, and some dude got confrontational with me. I think he was just having a bad day, because he kind of blew up out of nowhere, and he was confrontational with other people as well. But there was a brief moment where I thought he might punch me, and that I might get into my first real fight. And I realized afterwards that in that moment, I wasn't worried about it. Now, I think a few years ago before I started training, I also wouldn't have been worried about it. I probably would have thought, oh, I can take this guy. But if he punched me in the face and I'd never been hit before, then maybe I would have learned that lesson then that I actually learned all those years ago. That, oh my god, no, I don't know how to fight. But now I kind of do know how to fight. At least a little bit. My body knows how to react when someone throws a punch. My body knows what it feels like to get hit. And my body knows a few different ways how to counter and respond. So while this guy was getting in my face, I was assured I'd be able to handle it if he did decide to swing. But alas, he didn't. He ended up storming off. So while we'll never know, unless I run into him again, of course, I feel confident this time around, saying I actually could have taken that guy. All's to say, on the scale of confidence after starting Muay Thai, I've gone from here, having a lot of unrealistic confidence and thinking I'd be able to take everyone, to here, having significantly less confidence about taking everyone, knowing there's a lot of people I wouldn't be able to take at all, but also knowing my own capabilities after a few years of training. And that assurance in myself is much deeper because it doesn't come from untested assumptions, but rather training, repetition, and practice. And if you've trained Muay Thai, or really any martial art yourself, I hope this is something you agree with and understand for yourself as well. If so, let me know in the comments, and your thumbs up is super appreciated. You may also enjoy this video, which is about the mental struggles that come with learning how to fight as a nervous beginner. Consider subscribing for more videos like this. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.